No problem. Keep on sharing.
I think you had already started recording, Prabhu.
No, no, I have not started. That
Okay.
is sharing.
So I
Yeah.
forgot. My dear citizens, please note that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is actually the deliverer of all fallen conditioned souls. No demigod can perform this act of delivering the conditioned souls because the demigod themselves are conditioned. A conditioned soul cannot deliver another conditioned soul. Only Krishna or his bona fide representative can deliver him. The Ganges water which is flowing down from the toe of Lord Vishnu falls upon the earthly planet and other planets and thereby delivers all the conditioned sinful living entities. So, what need is there to speak of the deliverance of persons who are always engaged in the service of the Lord? There is no doubt about their liberation, even if they have stocks of sinful activities for many, many births. In other words, a person who is engaged in the worship of the deities can minimize his stocks of sinful reactions coming from many, many previous births. This process of worshipping the deity has already been described, and one should try to follow these rules and regulations seriously.
Yeah. So these statements are there, but we should not be, I mean, our impetus should not be for no minimizing sinful reactions and all. These are all given so that the non-devotees and others, mixed devotees, can get inspired to do more and more devotional service. But our impetus is like for the pleasure of Krishna, for getting Krishna prem, for advancing in bhakti. So for that we should do deity service everything. For to increase our attraction to Krishna, etc. And yeah, we see also in Vrindavan, in Jaipur and all, the temples are very opulent and all. So for the pleasure of Lord, there is very gorgeous deity worship arranged. And Prabhupada also uh, instituted very opulent deity worship. Yeah, in, so many offerings, two times changing the dress, etc. Singing.
Singing. In the Linga Puran, there is a statement about glorifying and singing about Lord. It is said here, a Brahmana who is constantly engaged in singing the glories of the Lord is surely elevated to the same planet as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna appreciates this singing even more than the prayers offered by Lord Shiva.
Okay, then Sankirtan.
Sankirtan, when a person loudly chants the glories of the Lord's activities, qualities, form, etc., this his chanting is called Sankirtan. Sankirtan also refers to congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement glorifying this process of congregational chanting. My dear king, this word Krishna is so auspicious that anyone who chants his holy name immediately gets rid of the resultant actions of sinful activities from many, many births. That is a fact. There is the following statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities than he is able to perform. A sinful man can perform many, many sinful activities, but he is unable to perform so many that they cannot be wiped out by one single uttering of Krishna. In the seventh canto, ninth chapter, verse number 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Prahlad offers the following prayers to the Lord. My dear Lord, Narsimha, if I can be elevated to the position of your servant, then it will be possible for me to hear about your activities. You are the supreme friend, the supreme worshipable deity. Your pastimes are transcendental, and simply by hearing of them, one can counteract all sinful activities. Therefore, I shall not care for all those sinful activities, because simply by hearing about your pastimes, I shall get out of all the contamination of the material attachments. There are many songs about the Lord's activities. For example, there is Brahma Samhita sung by Lord Brahma, Narada Pancharatra sung by Narad Muni, and Srimad Bhagavatam sung by Sukdev Goswami. If these songs are heard by any person, he can easily get out of the clutches of material contamination. There should be no difficulty in hearing these songs of God. They are coming down from many, many millions of years ago, and people are still taking advantage of them. So, why not at this time should one not take the full advantage and thus become liberated? In the first canto, fifth chapter, verse number 22 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni tells his disciple Vyasdev, "My dear Vyas, you should know you should know that persons who are engaged in executing the austerities and penances, studying the Vedas, performing big sacrifices, chanting the hymns of the Vedas, speculating on transcendental knowledge, and performing charitable functions have for all their auspicious activities simply to gain a place in the association of devotees and chant the glories of the Lord. It is indicated here that chanting about and glorifying the Lord is the ultimate activity of the living entity."
Yeah, so this also includes Leela Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, and Rupa Kirtan, not just the Nama Sankirtan. So if somebody is trying to preach or reach out Krishna consciousness to others, that is also Sankirtan. Of course, this book distribution that also comes in that. And of course, Prabhupada is talking about hearing the songs about the Lord. So generally, majority of the people there is a tendency to hear music and to enjoy music, etc. So that tendency can be easily doubted by hearing about the songs of the Lord. So there are many devotees who have sung the songs in very melodious, nice meters and melodies. So our acharyas have composed many songs themselves, and in the scriptures also there are that we are going to come to that. In scriptures also there are some stotrams and all uh, shlokas glorifying the Lord, and our acharyas also have composed many Vaishnava songs, etc. So one can dovetail one's tendency, and that way one will be purified also, and one will also learn many things by Vaishnava songs, etc. Okay, Japa.
Japa, chanting a mantra or a hymn softly and slowly is called japa, and chanting the same mantra loudly is called kirtan. For example, uttering the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, very softly, only for one's own hearing is called japa. Chanting the same mantra loudly for being heard by all others is called kirtan. The Mahamantra can be used for japa and kirtan also. When japa is practiced, it is for the personal benefit of the chanter, but when kirtan is performed, it is for the benefit of all others who may hear. In the Padma Puran, there is a statement for any person who is chanting the holy name either softly or loudly, the paths to liberation and even heavenly happiness are at once open.
Yeah, so there are three things. One is called Vachik. Vachik means chanting loudly, and another is called Upamshu. Upamshu is soft chanting for one's own hearing, and third is Manasik, chanting in the mind. So Manasik Japa, it will fall under remembrance, Smaran, and Upamshu is falls under Japa, and Vachik Japa, it will fall under Kirtan, Sankirtan. Next is submission. Submission, it's actually Vigyapti, means offering prayers to the Lord. Yeah.
In the Skanda Puran, there is a statement about the submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said there that those who are sober devotees can offer their submission to Krishna in the following three ways. First, Samprarthana,
Sampradhanatmika.
very feelingly offering prayers, glorifying the
It's
Lord.
like no, yeah, glorifying Lord and seeking benedictions of devotion service. I mean, this proper did not write. I have written it. So yeah. Next,
Dainya Vodika, humbly submitting oneself.
yeah, this is like considering how one is fallen. I have material desires. I'm sinful. uh, I'm not a very great. I'm not a very good devotee. Like this, when a devotee submits in this way, so that is called the inner bodhi. Yeah.
Lalsamai, desiring some perfectional stage.
Yeah, this is like no, okay, when will I chant the name of Lord Gauranga, and when will I cry or no? So like this. So when will I participate in the Radha Krishna Leela? So like that.
This desiring some perfectional stage in spiritual life is not sense gratification. When one realizes something of his constitutional relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he understands his original position and wants to be reinstated in this position, either as a friend, servant, parent, or conjugal lover of Krishna. This is called lalsamai, or very eager, desiring to go to one's natural position. This lalsamai stage of submission comes in the stage of perfection, perfect liberation, which is technically called Swarup Siddhi, when the living entity understands by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation his original relationship with the Lord.
Okay, yeah. So in different Vaishnava songs, we like no the like Brahma Samhita. It's like a Sampradhanatmika, and Dainya Bhotika like no Amara Jivan Sada Pape Rata. So that is like Dainya Bhotika, and Lalasa Mai is like no Kabe Habe Bolo Se Din Amar, like those songs. So you can take around 5 minutes and can take can go of most of you must be having the apps of Vaishnav song, or you can go to online also you'll get. So you can give some examples of different parts of the Vaishnav songs which will fall under these three categories: Sampradhanatmika, Dainyabhotika, and Lalasamani. Can you try? Then we'll discuss. I hope it is clear what is the meaning of this. Okay. So for Sampratnatmika examples. Mhm. Okay, yes, Srikanth Prabhu.
तो जी नमामीश्वरम संप्रार्थनात्मिका.
Yeah, correct. That also some little bit not there. Yeah, it is purely Sampratnatmika. Anyone else? Any other examples? There are others also like Akrodha Paramananda and Navagauravaram and Jagannath Ashtakam. All Ashtakams are Sampratnatmika, more or less. Radhika Ashtakam, these are all Sampratnatmika. Okay, then Danya Bhotika.
Prabhuji Shikshashtakam.
Yeah, Shikshashtakam, which verse? In
Third
Shikshashtakam,
one,
many aspects, other
Trinad.
aspects.
Trinad api Sunichena Tarur api Saisana.
Okay, yeah.
And
Trinnadapi Sunichan also, he's not telling about himself. He's telling this should be done. But yeah, it's more this one. The fifth verse is more.
fifth
Ainanda
verse
Tanuja
is
Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam. That is
Vishamudra. Yes.
appropriate. Okay, Yashas Pro.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. So
Hmm.
प्रभु जी, गोपीनाथ मम निवेदन सुनो. And
Yes.
हमार जीवन सदा पापे रहता. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे.
Okay. Yes. Okay, Shrikant Pro. Okay, I'm yeah, good examples. Then Lalsamai.
ओहे वैष्णव ठाकुर.
Okay, yeah, that is correct. Yeah. Okay, for Lalsamai.
The Lalsa may also can we say Vaishnav Thakur because he's saying Chaya Bega Domi, Chaya Dosha Shuddhi, Chaya Guna Devadas.
They're more, see, Lalsamai is more about, it's more for advanced devotees. I mean, for in relation with Krishna and all.
Ah.
Here it is.
Prabhuji,
Yes, bro.
Radha Krishna Pran Mora.
Correct. Okay, Yashas, bro.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. वृंदावन रम्य स्थान.
That is in the personal thing is there. No, it's more about description of Vrindavan only. I think at last he comes. Yeah, at last it comes. It's
Because
more
प्रभु जी end
Sampratnatmika. And at last, yeah, this is the this Nitya Leela Sukhamai, the great beauty of the divine couple and there. Vrindavan Ramyasthani, yeah, no, this is correct. This is Lalsani. This is Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan. That is more Sampratnatmika. At last, little Lalsani is there. Okay. Yes, Srikant Prabhu.
प्रभुजी श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दासरे गोविंद दासा विलासरे.
Okay.
He's designing.
Then,
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can I answer?
Prabhuji, Jaya
yes.
Nilo Premadhana will fall in Lalsamai.
That is no, that is with Vaishnavas. It is more, it's more like Sampratnatmika only. It is more like that. In some way, it is Lalsamai also. because
we are
there is separation
asking
from
for their
Chaitanya
mercy.
Mahaprabhu also.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there is also Gauranga Bolite Habe, all these things. Yeah. Vaikundi Paripra, you want to add any other thing?
Yeah, Hari Haraya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
That is more like glorifying the Lord. It will fall more under Sampratnatmika. Lalsa Mai.
Samaya.
Okay, fine. So I hope you got it. So that's fine. You will now proceed. Okay, Pro, you can read now in the Padma Puran. So this is this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comment on this, that Sampradna prayers are mainly for those who are not at Bhava, who are below Bhava, and Lalasamai statements are those who have attained Bhava. Next, Padma Puran.
In the Padma Puran, there is a statement of submission in feeling by devotees praying to the Lord. My Lord, I know that young girls have natural affection for young boys, and that young boys have natural affection for young girls. I am praying at your lotus feet that my mind may become attracted unto you in the same spontaneous way. The example is very appropriate. When a young boy or a girl sees a member of the opposite sex, there is natural attraction without the need for any introduction. Without any training, there is natural attraction due to the sex impulse. This is a material example, but the devotee is praying that he may develop a similar spontaneous attachment for the Supreme Lord, free from any desire for profit and without any other cause. This natural attraction for the Lord is the perfectional stage of self realization.
So this is because see, he is praying for spontaneous attraction, which means he does not have. So this is Sampratnatmika. Okay. Next.
In the same Padma Puran, there is a statement about submission in humbleness. It is stated there, my dear Lord, there is no sinful living entity who is more of a sinner than myself, nor is there a greater offender than myself. I am so greatly sinful and offensive that when I come to confess my sinful activities before you, I am ashamed. This is a natural position of a devotee. As far as conditioned soul is concerned, there is no wonder that he has some sinful activities in his past life, and this should be admitted and confessed before the Lord. As soon as this is done, the Lord excuses the sincere devotee. But that does not mean that one should take the advantage of the Lord's causeless mercy and expect to be excused over and over again while he commits the same sinful activities. Such a mentality is only for a shameless person. Here it is clearly said, when I come to confess my sinful activities, I become ashamed. So, if a person is not ashamed of his sinful activities and continues to commit the same sinful activities with the knowledge that the Lord will excuse him, that is the most nonsensical proposition. Such an idea is not accepted in any part of the Vedic literature. It is a fact that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one becomes washed clean of all sinful activities from his past life. But that does not mean that after being washed off, one should again begin sinful activities and expect to be washed again. These are nonsensical propositions and are not admitted in devotional service. Someone may think, for a whole week I may commit sinful activities, and for one day I'll go to the temple or church and admit my sinful activities so that I can become washed off and again begin my sinning. This is the most nonsensical and offensive and is not acceptable to the author of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Sorry. So here, Prabhupada is explaining about, because Prabhupada took a little detour about intentional offense. So this is like explaining the seventh offense. So that will become a namaparadh, thinking that devotional service will nullify it and committing sinful reactions. Here it is an example of Dainyabodhika prayer. Yeah, next.
In the Narada Pancharatra, there is a statement of submission accompanied by the desire for perfection. The devotee says, my dear Lord, when shall that day come when you will ask me to fan your body? And according to your pleasure, you will say, you just fan me in this way. The idea in this verse is that the devotee is desiring to personally fan the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means that he is desiring to become a personal associate of Supreme Lord. Of course, any devotee in any capacity, either as a servant, friend, or conjugal lover, always has direct association with the Lord. But according to his different individual taste, a person desires for just one of these relationships. Here, the devotee is desiring to become a servant of the Lord and desires to fan the Lord, as does his internal energy Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. He also wishes that the personality of Godhead will be pleased to give him directions as to how to fan. This submission with transcendental desire or lalsamai with Jnapti is the highest perfection stage of spiritual realization. In the same Narad Pancharatra, there is another expression of submission wherein the devotee says, "My dear Lord, O lotus eyed one, when will that day come when on the bank of the Yamuna I shall become just like a madman and continue to chant your holy name while incessant tears flow from my eyes?" This is another perfection stage. Lord Chaitanya also desired that a moment will appear unto me as 12 years of time, and the whole world will appear to me as a vacant on account of not seeing you, my dear Lord. One should feelingly pray and become eager to render his particular type of service to the Lord. This is the teaching of all great devotees, especially of Lord Chaitanya. In other words, one should learn how to cry for the Lord. One should learn this small technique and he should be very eager and actually cry to become engaged in some particular type of service. This is called lolyam. And such tears are the price for the highest perfection. If one devotee, if one develops this lolyam or excessive eagerness for meeting and serving the Lord in a particular way, that is the price to enter into the kingdom of God. Otherwise, there is no material calculation for the value of the ticket by which one can enter the kingdom of God. The only price for such entrance is the lolyam, lalsamai, or desire and great eagerness.
Yeah, on this volume we will discuss in Raganuga Bhakti. So you can take 3 minutes and think about what are the benefits of reciting these prayers. Yeah, like the Vaishnava songs and all the benefits of reciting prayers. This will fall under the next one, but we can discuss now. Given in scriptures or recite composed by devotees. We can take 3 minutes, then we'll discuss. Okay.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji, can
Yashraj
I
Pro.
answer?
Yes, Pro, you can answer.
Prabhuji, when we sing the Vaishnava songs with its proper meaning and understanding, it's highly purifying and elevating in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, definitely consciousness itself will get elevated. So yeah, that is correct. Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next. Okay. Yes, Srimati Vasudha Mataji can tell.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam Prabhu.
Yes.
When we hear those prayers or songs, Prabhu, automatically our faith and surrender will be improved, Prabhu.
Yeah, we will get to know how to do that, and we'll get inspiration to do surrender. Yes.
We know how to
Okay.
pray and all. Their mood.
We will also learn how to pray to the Lord for our own situations and all. Good. Thank you. Okay. Yashraj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is a lots of stages. So first of all, for the personal benefit, as Prabhuji and Mataji said, it's for our self-improvement. And yes, Prabhuji. And other thing, actually, the all prayers by the devotees actually generally is above from selfishness. So they are generally pray for others and himself also, but in a humble mood. So it makes us humble and it will revive the consciousness that will tell us we should be humble. So generally, when we are doing bhakti, sometimes we get some proud. Okay, we are very good. But when we heard about the Vaishnava song like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's bhajan, so he said, "I am very even fallen than a insect of stool and all this thing." So it will makes us humble. And second thing, it will teach us how to pray with the Lord, because generally we
Good.
don't know
Thank
how to pray. So it should be in a humble mood, and it will also like in the case of Prahlad Maharaj. So we will not just only pray for us; we will pray for the entire mankind and the universe.
Okay. Yeah, so good points you made. So first is it will help us reorient our consciousness. Yeah, especially if you're working in a corporate world where you have position and all authority, and even in the family also if you get respect from everyone and all. So and you're earning money and all. So there is a tendency to get proud, proud about oneself, etc. So hearing these prayers and all, it will help us to understand our predicament in this world, and what should be our actual consciousness as a devotee, etc. And second is it will help us also understand the consciousness of them, means no, of the pure devotees, what is their consciousness, and how to practice devotional service, and yeah, how to pray. Okay, yes, Sundari Subhadra Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam. So Prabhuji, all the points are almost covered. I just wanted to add that by reciting the prayers from the Vaishnavas or devotees and from the scriptures, we are directly getting connected to the bona fide parampara, so through which the blessings come directly, and because of which the advancement happens fast.
Yeah,
And rest all points are covered, Prabhuji.
yeah. That's we are going to study in the next point. That is correct. Okay. Yes, Srikant Prabhu, you want to add?
Prabhuji, I think mostly all. Prabhuji, one thing was we even if we are not in that mood, we get into that mood by reciting.
The setting of the mood, correct, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
And second was that sometimes we cannot express also. We're short of words, and also if we recite the prayers, we can use that to express our own.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, to develop the mood also it helps. Like that's why sometimes songs are sung in before the class or before going to yatra. On the way to yatra, we sing the songs. It will help us, orient our mood, proper mood, etc. That is also good. Yeah, thank you. And it will also help us in understanding how the devotees are advanced. Like you told, like it will connect us to parampara. Like the devotees who wrote those prayers, we can develop more deeper connection with them by reciting their prayers and perceiving the benefit we get from their prayers. So we will also develop connection to them. So that is also there. Okay, yes. Now next, reciting notable prayers.
According to the great learned scholars, the whole Bhagavad Gita contains many authorized prayers, especially in the 11th chapter where Arjuna prays to the universal form of the Lord. Similarly, in the Gautamiya Tantra, all the verses are called prayers. Again, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are hundreds of prayers to the Lord. So a devotee should select some of these prayers for his recitation. In Skanda Puran, the glories of these prayers are stated as follows: devotees whose tongues are decorated always with the prayers to Lord Krishna are always given respect even by the great saintly persons and sages, and such devotees are actually worshipable by the demigods.
Yeah. So there are two types of prayers, or especially the composed prayers. One is stotra, which are found in scripture, like Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, like this. And stava. Stava is composed by devotees, like of course the Gajendra prayers. These are all stotras, Gajendra Stotra, all these. Uh, Purusha, what is Purusha Sukta Stotra, like no, like this. Sri Sukta. These are all stotras. And stava are those which are composed by devotees, by acharyas, etc. Just a minute. And also prayers also, so it helps also in understanding the philosophy also, because many of the prayers there is description of philosophy. Yeah. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayers also there is description. He also describes, and also in Bhagavatam prayers also there is a lot of description of philosophy. At least as we spend years, we should initially the prayers may look very irrelevant or something, but as we spend more and more time, we should be able to relate to the prayers. Okay, you can read those who are less intelligent.
Those who are less intelligent want to worship different demigods for some material gain rather than worship Krishna. But here it is stated that a devotee who is always engaged in offering prayers to the Lord is worshipable even by the demigods themselves. The pure devotees have nothing to ask from any demigod. Rather, the demigods are anxious to offer their prayers to the pure devotees. In the Narasimha Purana, it is stated any person who comes before the deity of Lord Krishna and begins to chant different prayers is immediately relieved from all the reactions to the of the sinful activities and become eligible without any doubt to enter into the Vaikuntha Loka.
Okay, partaking of prasad.
There is this specific statement in Padma Purana: person who honors the prasad and regularly eats it, not exactly in front of the deity, along with Charanamrit, the water offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, which is mixed with seeds of the Tulsi tree, immediately can achieve the results of pious activities which are obtained through 10,000 performances of sacrificial rites.
Yeah, so prasad, of course, it is easy, and but again, we should that also has to be done in regulation, and it should be done in proper consciousness also. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes sannyas and Nityan Prabhu tricks him to come to Shantipur and all. So Advaita Acharya, he keeps a huge quantity of prasads that he has actually cooked for Lord, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course it's offered to the Shaligram Shila and all. So as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and sees, he tells, "Oh Lord, oh the Lord has a good feast." Means he's only seeing it as prasad, not for his own enjoyment. Of course, it's so that should be ideal consciousness. Whenever some opulent prasad is there, so first you should say, "Oh, the deities had a good prasad." So, so this will come. At least we should aspire for that, and uh, so reciting prasadam prayers attentively and contemplating on the meaning, that also helps to orient the consciousness towards it. Then only the benefits also come, because it's yayata mam prapadyante. Okay, drinking Charnamrit.
Drinking Charnamrit. Charnamrit is obtained in the morning while the Lord is being washed before dressing. Scented with perfumes and flowers, the water comes gliding down through his lotus feet and is collected and mixed with yogurt. In this way, this Charnamrit not only becomes very tastefully flavored but also has tremendous spiritual value. As described in Padma Puran, even a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other words, even one who has never done any pious activities, will become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charnamrit which is kept in the temple. In the temple, it is the custom that the Charnamrit be kept in a big pot. The devotees who come to visit and offer respect to the deities take 3 drops of Charnamrit very submissively and feel themselves happy in transcendental bliss.
Yeah. If you have done some DT worship, or at least no backup or DT backup, so actual Saranamrit, it's water, means it's a not, yeah, it's somewhat scented water, but it will be mixed with no some turmeric and some other things. So that is the original Charnamrit. But generally, while serving Charnamrit, will be mixed with Madhupark. Madhupark is a separate offering which is offered to the deities, which is made of, I think, curd and honey and things like that. So also, I think mostly Panchamrit also, it is also called as Panchamrit. So that in that Charnamrit is mixed. So the actual Charnamrit is a little different. It's a water, means just Abhishek water. But yeah, it is mixed for Madhupark also. It is a prasad, means offered to the Lord only. So yeah, at least should know the distinction. So the glories of Charnamrit is there in this verse. Akala Mrityu Haranam Sarva Vyadi Vinashanam Vishnu Padodakam Pitva Chirasi Dharayamyaham. Ideally, this prayer should be recited, shloka should be recited while taking Charnamrit. Having drunk the water from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, which destroys all disease and takes away the chance of dying untimely, I hold the water on my head. Okay, smelling the incense and flowers offered to the deity.
In the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya, there is a statement about the incense which is offered in the temple. When the devotees smell the good flavor of the incense which is offered to the deity, they thus become cured of the poisonous effects of the material contamination. As much as one becomes cured of a snake bite by smelling the prescribed medicinal herbs. The explanation of this verse is that there is an herb found in the jungles which expert person knows how to revive the consciousness of one who is bitten by the snake. Simply by smelling that herb, one becomes immediately relieved of the poisonous effect of a snake bite. The same example is applicable when a person comes to visit the temple and smells the incense offered to the deity. He is cured at that time from all his material contamination. Any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the deity: fruits, flowers, incense, etc. If one cannot offer anything in the cash, something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come in the morning to visit the temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or one morsel of flour can be offered. It is a regulative principle that one should not go to see a saintly person or a deity in the temple without any offering. The offering may be very humble or it may be priceless. Even a flower, a little fruit, a little water, whatever is possible, must be offered. So when a devotee comes to offer something to the deity in the morning, he is sure to smell the good flavor of the incense, and then at once he will become cleansed of the poisonous effect of the material existence.
Yeah, if we have a flower tree or something, if we can bring a flower, that is good. Yeah, otherwise also it's okay. Means if you are staying near a temple, and then it is okay. And yeah, also, yeah, so this example is like, no, when if we get that attar of the deities, at least we can try to remember like this. Our vasanas, let our material vasanas go away, material desires go away. Okay, yes.
It is
You
stated.
can read from.
It is stated in the Tantra Shastra, if the smell of the garland which was offered to the deity in the temple enters into the person's nostrils, immediately his bondage to sinful activities become cleared. And even if one has no sinful activity, still by smelling such remnants of flowers, one can advance from the Mayavadi to a devotee. There are several instances of this, a prime one being the advancement of four Kumaras. They were impersonalist Mayavadis, but after smelling the remnants of flowers and the incense in the temple, they turned into become devotees. From the above verse, it appears that the Mayavadis or the impersonalists are more or less contaminated. They are not pure.
Okay, just a minute. I mean, more of that. Yeah. Okay, read now. Touching the deity.
Touching the deity. In the Vishnu Dharmottar, there is a statement about touching the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said only a person who is initiated as a Vaishnava and is executing devotional service in Krishna consciousness has the right to touch the body of the deity. In India, there are agitation during Gandhi's political movement because the low-born class of men like street sweepers and chandals are prohibited according to Vedic system from entering the temple. Due to their unclean habits, they are prohibited, but at the same time, they are given other facilities, so they may be elevated to the highest grade of devotional service by associating with pure devotees. A man born in any family is not bad, but he must be cleansed. That cleansing process must be adopted. Gandhi wanted to make them clean simply by stamping them with the fictitious name Harijana, children of God. And so there was a great tug of war between the temple owners and Gandhi's followers.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, ideally, like touching the deity, we should only touch the deity if it is a part of our service, like doing Shodashopchar to the Utsav Murtis. So it's a part of the deity to take, to touch, to bathe the Lord, and also that time touching happens. So that's okay. Otherwise, one should not do, because deity is a person. I mean, he's Lord himself, so we should not unnecessarily disturb him. You can always offer obeisances and all. So that is there. Okay, now you can think for around 3 minutes, and because Prabhupada has took this point, like uh, it, at least I experienced, and it in general also people ask why you are not allowing us to touch the deity and all. So you can think around, especially ISKCON temples, we don't touch, we don't allow. So you take around 2 minutes and think what you will explain to him, how you will explain to him, how you will tell him. Yes, anyone?
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Okay, yes, Prabhu.
Uh, we can explain like this. Suppose if we have to meet a local corporator or a minister, or local corporator is easy, but compared to him meeting ministers more difficult. or then prime minister is much more difficult. So how can we directly touch? Means we can approach the Lord, or we can touch the Lord, or we can meet
Yeah,
the
so there
Lord.
is a protocol. There is a protocol to meet them. So say the same thing. There is a protocol to meet them. So the same way.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's not like no one is allowed to meet them or only few people are allowed to meet. Everyone can meet them, but they should go through a particular protocol. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Anyone else? Okay. Yes, Shaz, bro. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Broji. So, Broji,
Mm,
as you said, I have a two answer, as you mentioned.
mm,
So
mm,
we can tell them, okay, you are
mm,
allowed, but you have to follow certain rules and regulation. And after the
mm,
second initiation, you can touch. So we
mm,
can tell them the process. Because of
mm,
this, they will not hurt. And
mm,
second thing, it's
mm,
like a management thing. So if
mm,
everybody touch the DT, they can break the DTs, and there is a
mm,
chaos to handle
mm,
the crowd. So that's why
mm,
we can tell them. So it will not
mm,
hurt them, and also they
mm,
will know the how important DT is. Means the touching the
mm,
DT is very important,
mm,
and there is a protocol and
mm.
all these things,
Yeah.
as you said.
But, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, okay. Yeah, also like we have to tell them like no deities are not just stone. Like any other stone you can play with or stuff. This is the Supreme Lord and he's a person. He has his own he is a person and he should be given his privacy and all. Cannot just barge in and touch. So and also like exact same thing for the photos also. Why you should not click photos or something. That also same thing. Okay, yes, bro, you can now read seeing the deity.
Prabhuji,
Yes, yes.
we can even tell them to visit Pandharpur, where you are allowed to touch the deities,
Yeah,
like Lord Swambhu. We can
that
tell
is
them that.
there, but if you tell like that, then why you are not doing, he will tell. So,
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
of course, you can explain that there, that tradition is there. I mean, there, that is there, but here we are following this system. It's not, we are not preventing, but we have this protocol. Yeah, yeah. You can read now seeing the deity.
Seeing the deity. In the Varaha Puran, there is a statement praising the seeing of the deity of Sri Krishna in the temple. A devotee says there, "My dear Vasundhara, any person who goes to Vrindavan and sees the deity of Govinda Dev is free from the courthouse of Yamraj and is allowed to enter into the highest planetary system in which reside the demigods." This means that even an ordinary person who goes to Vrindavan out of inquisitiveness and by chance sees the temple, especially that of Govindev, even if he is not elevated to the spiritual kingdom, is still assured promotion to the higher planetary system. This means that simply by visiting deity of Govinda in Vrindavan, one becomes highly elevated in pious life.
Yeah, especially if you can invite your relatives and all who are inclined to Krishna consciousness to take darshan and all, especially darshanarati and all. They will, I mean, they will be purified and those who, especially if women and all, they are interested in seeing nice decorated deities and all. We can add them to the WhatsApp group where they can get darshan photos and all. That will encourage them in Krishna consciousness. Okay, next. I think this is last. Yeah, this is last.
Observing Aarti and celebrations of the Lord. In the Skand Puran, there is the following description of the result of seeing Aarti worship of the deity. If someone sees the face of the Lord while Aarti is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. As we have already explained, there are different ceremonies to be observed, such as the birthday of Krishna, the birthday of Lord Ramchandra, the birthday of some prominent Vaishnavas, the ceremony of Jhulan Yatra, while the Lord sitting on a swing, with the Lord sitting on a swing, and Dola Yatra, the Lord's activities in the month of March. In all festivals, the Lord is seated on a car and the car moves through the different streets of the city so that the people may take advantage of visiting the Lord. In the Bhavishya Puran, it is stated in such a ceremony, if even a Chandala, dog eater, simply out of curiosity sees the Lord on the cart, he becomes counted as one of the associates of Vishnu. In the Agni Puran, it is stated any person who in gladness sees the worship of the deity in the temple will obtain the results of Kriya Yoga, which are described in the Pancharatra scripture. Kriya Yoga is a system of practice much like practical devotional service, but it is especially meant for the mystic yogis. In other words, by this gradual process of the mystic yogis are eventually elevated to the devotional service of the Lord.
Okay. So I hope things are clear. Okay, any questions on what we discussed today? Any questions? Okay, so in the next class, we will continue the next chapters of the principles of Vaidhi Bhakti, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So thank you very much for your kind participation and attention. Okay, yes, Mataji, you have any question?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, we always hear that we should not put our back uh, towards Lord. But sometimes while getting prasadam in some devotee's house, due to the space limitations, we do that. Like we see that the arrangement is done in such a way that the
Yeah.
devotees are facing back towards Lord, although the altar is closed with the curtains. So,
No,
Prabhuji,
if altar is closed, there is no problem.
okay. So in the house
Even
also, Prabhuji, there are some arrangements like that, like something is exactly in front of the altar, maybe the study table or something. And then when we sit in front of that study table, the back by default faces towards the Lord. So how do we?
at least you can make it cross so that it at least back does not face it and all. You can see if that is possible. And altar can be, yeah, if when altar is closed, like even in temple also, like during Prabhupada lecture, all devotees are facing Prabhupada and altar is closed, at least at the beginning of the class. So at around 8:30 and all, altar opens. So then devotees get crossed, like they, they change their direct orientation. So that is how it is followed.
Okay, so closed altar should be
Mm.
practiced if there is no
No,
space.
if you have to have some sitting place in front of the altar and all, you can make it cross so that it is not exactly facing the altar. The back is not exactly behind the altar.
Okay, Prabhuji, got it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavad.
okay.
Prabhuji, I have one question. Can I ask you?
Yes, yes.
Many times I have drunken charnamrit like a glass or a small cup. Is that
Hmm.
okay? Drinking more quantity or
No, that's okay, not a
like
problem.
devotees they give, so I drink.
No, it's okay, no problem.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I mean that consciousness should be there, uh, as much as you should try to maintain. Okay. Yes, Shash,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you, brother.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, as
Hmm.
Mataji said, and here it is mentioned, Prabhuji, I
Hmm.
think most of the rules mentioned in the this chapter, maybe I think it's
Hmm.
for the Pran Pratishtha deity because generally we have photos in our house and
No, they also should be treated. Yeah, some rules may mainly apply for that,
Mhm.
but it should also be they should also be treated in it, like talking loudly in front of altar. These all things should be avoided, even in front of what are house or home altars also. Of course, some things like no, you should offer seasonal fruits and all. Those things they strictly follow in temple. In home, as much as possible. Yeah, like you should follow all rules and regulations. Okay, that is not possible in home. It's okay, but follow. I mean, you should have something basic, and these all things slowly should be increased.
Yeah,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji, but
based on
Hmm.
this only, like when we read this, we obviously try to implement this to the extent we can. So
That's
otherwise, it
so.
will be mere reading.
Yeah, yeah.
So my question
Always
was
see
in that
whenever we
case
read
only,
this.
like simply hearing, and when we are doing it at home, then these things come to our mind. that
Yeah,
we should
yeah,
not do this. So in that
yeah.
situation, I was asking.
So we should try, na? We should see if we think something, we'll find some way.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. With respect to don'ts and with respect to do's also, we should see like how we can improve the standard and all. Yeah, means there are many things in life, many things are there, but at least we should have a desire, and we should, if we have desire, if we desire sometimes, then after some, if we desire some 2 3 times, then the fourth time we may do that. So one thing is, we should not think that okay, what I am doing is sufficient. That should not be there. I need not do anything more. That should never be. I mean, that is not a very healthy attitude. And one, that's what one need not. That is one extreme is I am doing sufficient and nothing more is due. That is also a bad extreme. And another extreme is like thinking that oh, I'm not following, and considering lamenting, and having inferiority complex. That also is not good. Always identify something what you can improve, and see how you can improve, and not improve immediately, but at least you desire and think how you can do. You'll do it sometime like that. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, so thank you very much for your kind participation and attentive attention. Thank you very much. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhakti Samrit Muni ki jai, Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Okay, thank you. Pancha
Thank you,
Kalpitarushya
Prabhuji.
Kripa
Hare
Akshay
Krishna.
Kripa.
Sindhu
Thank you very much.
Shri
Sincerely grateful to you for your wonderful explanations. I miss your association.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Thank you, Prabhupada.